Let's go.
All right. So you're ready. So okay. Today we're going to follow through with what we set up on Monday, which is of course utilizing the turtle. On Monday we talked about co-opting our opponent's momentum, either by collaborating with that momentum, like if they throw our legs, they throw us, or co-opting our opponent's momentum by evading it. If like slice their legs past our legs, right? So kind of a good, kind of I guess you could say archetype for both of these situations would be the stack pass where they shut the legs, or the knee cut where they cut past the legs. This brings us to the point where we've now turtled at it. Now, in order to contextualize what we're going into today, we have to understand a few things that we must know to be true. Okay, I'm going to say like 3 things we must know to be true. Number 1, let's talk about the turtle. Try to get you the turtle out. The turtle is inherently, so thing to know to be true, number 1. The turtle is inherently a dangerous position to be. Okay? Just built within the confines of this position, his back is exposed. Let's break that down really more specifically. His hips are exposed to hooks, so I can take his back and get hooks in. His arms are exposed to attacks, right? So if I can manage, let's turn it a little bit this way, perfect, right? If I can manage to crowbar one of these arms out, I can start to isolate an arm and go for crucifix stuff. So his arms are in danger, and of course, his neck is in danger. If I can manage to start securing grips and attacking the collars and all this. Now, that's not to say guaranteed if you end up in turtle that you're going to, you can go relax. That's not to say guaranteed if you end up in turtle that you're going to get your back taken, you're going to get crucifixed, you're going to get choked. It's just to say that inherently within that position, those things are exposed. Does that make sense? Right? So that's thing to know, thing to understand, number 1. Thing to understand, number 2. Thing to know to be true, number 2, is that the longer we hang out in this turtle, the more danger John's going to be in. Why? Very simple, okay? Go back to turtle. Okay? John's going to make certain decisions to protect himself. And he's going to prioritize certain things. Maybe John doesn't really feel like the choke is a huge threat, so he's worried, but he doesn't like to have his back taken, like he's worried about the hooks. So his elbows go in super deep, right? And he's really protecting the hooks, so I can't get his hooks, right? Well, there's an expression, you can't make a big enough mousetrap, right? And the turtle is not a big enough mousetrap. So what tends to happen in the turtle is that, okay, he's here, we're trying to move around super light, and like I start to threaten this collar grip. And if it starts to become dangerous enough, he starts to bring his hands up to respect it. And once he starts doing that, he starts exposing this hook. He starts trying to address this hook, and then my collar grip gets deeper. And then he starts to address the collar grip, and then I'm able to step over and get this second hook, and so on and so forth. The point being is that the longer we spend in the turtle, the more it's going to facilitate. Just turn it. Just turn it. Turn it. And pull. Turn and pull. Goodbye, man.
Are you interested in training for the end of the year?
She actually did come into the right door today. Unfortunately, she was conquered by the interior door. She is not the first, and she likely will not be the last. Anyway, so the point is, why is it that the longer you spend in turtle, the more vulnerable you are? Is because once I start trying to do things, it's going to facilitate responses, and once there are responses being facilitated, she's okay. She's kind of like.
She has a cane.
Yeah.
It's cold. I feel bad.
Yeah. She's welcome to come in. Anyway. As the longer we're in the turtle, the more it facilitates responses. Those responses are going to create openings. Those openings are going to create other openings and so on, or other responses, and that feedback loop will continue until either he gets away or I get something. Okay? So this is thing to understand to be true, number 2. We have one thing to be true, that we know to be true, that is going to work in our favor, right? Which is this. Let me ask you guys a question. Can I get you in a stack pass situation? One guard, right? I'm stacking up John. When you pass this guard, right? If I stack pass and chuck his legs, do I stack pass and chuck his legs and go like boom and attack and settle the position? Or so you go, do I throw his legs, just stay flat for a second, like, and wait?
No, wait.
Right? I don't do this, right? This is not how people pass the guard. I don't like, let's see what he's gonna do first, right? You pass and you go right to the position,
Yes.
right? If I'm gonna knee cut, do I, let's just say it blasts through, do I knee cut and immediately start to smash? Or do I knee cut? Okay. Good, right? No, right? Like, obviously.
No, wait.
So the third factor that we must know to be true is that when people pass the guard, they inherently, within the dynamic of a guard pass, will proceed to the position they're trying to attain. Okay? So we know the turtle is vulnerable. The turtle gets more and more vulnerable as you stay there. And we know that when someone passes the guard, they're going to proceed to the position they're aiming for, which in this case, for the most part, is side control. Okay? What that means, guys, if we put that all in the little jujitsu calculator, bibbity booping, okay, is that we don't want to spend a lot of time in turtle, because the longer we spend in there, the more danger we are in. But when our opponent passes our guard, if we turtle out, they're going to proceed as if they're getting to the position that they were attempting to get in the first place, right? So what that means is, let's say you're on top, that John stacks my hips and he shucks my legs to get the side control, he's going to follow me here. You see what I'm saying? He's going to follow me close to my turtle, which is going, you guys look at this one more time. I do there, release, like just shuck my legs, like as if you're doing. Yep. You're here, he shucks the legs. Boom. He's going to attack from this, right? Which is going to open up the opening for me to get to my guard. Because he's still thinking about side control. He's still going, I'm passing the guard. In the moment, like if you think about it, like if he wanted to not let me recover the guard, he would hunker back, right? That would make sense. The thing is, granted, if he does that, I'll just get to the open guard. But the point is they're going to follow you. They're going to shuck the legs, they're going to follow you, so I get you down. So, we're going to take that into account. So as I'm here and I shuck his legs to go to side control, right, I end up here. At this point, look at this, guys. Can we rotate so my feet are facing the camera? We end up here. My hips are off the ground, my legs are opened up. At this point, John is going to pummel this underhook, and he's going to sit this like into a half right. Boom, and we're here. We're ready to go. If he does that all kind of as one motion, so let's do, you kind of feel like, can you connect that? Cool, so we're down, I'm here, I stack his hips up, I shuck, I'm going. And he's right to guard. We facilitated that very same reset that we talked about in the first place, right? So this is why when we do our solo drills, it's forward. My guard is puncturing back in. Because if you think of it like, as I turtle away, he's following me over here, so the legs are open here. Right? So, the first thing we're going to work on is just that very same transition. You're doing that really good. We'll have you do that. I reckon you don't need to see it.
No.
So we'll go slow this time. So I stack his hips, really shuck your partner's legs, as if you wanted this knee to touch the floor. Remember, he points this toe to the ceiling to facilitate that back roll over the shoulder and really go to side control. Boom. Once we get here, he gets that underhook, punctures that leg in, and we're going to end up in half guard. Does that make sense, guys? Excellent. Let's part of our workout. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Go ahead, stop.
Oh.